What's up, G?
Yo.
Yo, good introduction.
Brad, you want to make an intro or?
All right, G from Since the Flood, The World, Hammer Bros, 100 Series Studios, Prison, LOL.
G.Made.Dsgns.
G.Made.Dsgns. Anything else?
Downright.
Downright.
So one of the big things, obviously, it's kind of standing out. So we got a 100 series hat on. We got a 100 series studio shirt that just dropped. So what is a 100 series?
100 series is this project that came about in prison. So like, I've always been in brands. I've always started brands like since I was probably the end of the Hammer Bros era. I started my first brand called Defamation Nation, and corny ass name, but like once the Hammer Bros broke up, I started to kind of go into it full time. Not full time, but a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into designing. That's how I got into learning how to screen print and just taking things into my hands, because I would get ripped off left and right from people either designing something for me or printing a batch of shirts that just got fucked up.
Right.
You know, so I...
Oh, well, you don't enjoy getting a bunch of shirts that are printed sideways and getting
mean,
told to go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
Not a fan?
The misprints, they're worth more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of when you used to print.
Dude, come on, man. I was great, dude.
So yeah, like that was the beginning of my journey into, I wouldn't say fashion. It was more just creating, you know.
Yeah.
And I started to do marketing for different types of brands, and then also clothing stores and brick and mortar boutiques that like sold either sneakers or high end menswear.
Okay, yeah.
And then started going to trade shows with them, like big ones like Capsule, Agenda, Magic, and then I would just learn the ins and outs of the industry. Way more gatekeeping mentality back then versus now, where everything's so accessible.
Yeah.
But and it just makes me think, like, if I was to document that whole journey, how much of a come up I would have, like
How valuable it would have
yeah,
been.
you know, like if I put it out there. But
It was a lot easier, or it's a lot harder back then to film things, too.
I was.
You had to have more money up front. Like, not everybody had a phone that was worth a damn, you know?
Yeah, just like people on the internet say podcast equipment should be more expensive. So rinky-dink wieners like us don't start one.
That's the thing.
Yeah. the whole mentality of like not everybody should do something.
So I guess the gatekeeping mentality is still there, you know, but I mean it's a little bit more
Gatekeep hardcore.
yeah, it's just more, there's more resources for it now. And that's for anything. You know?
Yeah.
Lower barriers to entry.
So I mean I started to do I got involved in a few different brands. Then I kind of lost my passion for it after my last one. Once I started kind of just like getting, I just got in like a mentally a bad space.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the brand that suffered. It was my health. It was my family. It was my
Just everything.
yeah, my relationships. You know, and I just lost interest. But then, you know, being locked up really kind of gave me that clarity to kind of get into something again, and it made me realize that I had just reconnect my passion again to want to start to be able to create. Like I learned a lot of things in there that I'm like, wow, like I do have this kind of eye for, you know, creating and
You came
Just-
out on the ball. Like, I noticed that right when you came out ready to go. You had shit lined up. 100 series took off. You had the videos. You had all the ideas. Like, did you write all that out in, like,
so
or however you did it?
so the idea was to start a new brand, but like I didn't really understand. I didn't have a name for it or anything like that. I just kind of had these ideas of the basic underlying message that we wanted to kind of portray. And that's pretty much because of my experience, not just through prison, but like overall in life, that like I wouldn't be anywhere without my friends and my family, you know, and seeing them ride out for me no matter how down I am or how down bad I am, like they've always been there to lift me back up. So I wanted to make something that resonated with that message, like to have everybody see that that's what we're trying to achieve, is to make not a statement, but each piece has that message.
Right, direct message of like what's going on, and
Yeah, it's more just to pay homage to those values.
even like before I met you, I saw everywhere like the free G stuff and like the whole community just one solid objective, and it was crazy.
Get 'em out.
Yeah, get them out.
Oh, I know.
I still wear the free G shirt.
Not sure.
I felt it too, you know, like and it was humbling, and it was like, you know, I was just kind of in my head for a while, like thinking, you know, never take things for granted, to just realize like, yo, no matter how much of a piece of shit you could be at that time or prior to that, you are somebody, or I felt that I did do something good to have that type of support, you know. But regardless of that, it was just a humbling thing, which I'm never gonna take for granted again. You know?
Right. If you were like a shitty person, like people would just kind of like whatever,
And I've
he's in there.
seen that so like everywhere in prison, you know. Like there's people that don't have shit, you know. What
Just
I'm
got
saying?
abandoned as soon as they went in.
Even if they're doing like a small bit, they're doing 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Like, their shorty just leaves them, fucking takes their money, or they have no one to call. Like I was helping people in there, you know. I was like trying to do my best to, like, you know, if I saw something that, just because I wanted to give, I wanted to, like, you know, pay it back somehow, pay it forward, you know, because I was getting that love from the outside, that I was like, you know what, like.
So how like connected were you to like the outside of knowing everything that was going on? Like people were trying to raise money for you, trying to like send you stuff. Like,
Do you have an iPhone?
yeah, do you have you have something hidden or?
Well, like when I was in the detention center, like the county, no, we didn't have no phones, but we had a tablet where we can message, and I would, you know, I didn't really want to have too many people on the contacts, just because I wanted to just make it easier and just have someone be the proxy, and I can just talk to them. So it was either like my sister or one of the homies that like would tell me what's going on, and then we would set up dates where I would make a phone call to either like an event that, you know, like a benefit that they were doing for me, that I wanted to just say hi to everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always got updates. It wasn't hard to communicate, you know. It was
I feel like it's a lot easier than people think.
100%, like, especially where, you know, there's the anxiety of not knowing where you're gonna go. Like that was the biggest thing for me, was
I remember talking to you about that when you were in transit. You were in transit for how many months?
10 months.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
So they fucked up, right? I was supposed to, once you get sentenced, you go to the detention center, you sit for about a week, and then you get designated to your prison, the actual facility that you're supposed to go to. You're pretty much in classification, and then they're going to determine what security level that you're supposed to go to. And there's a number of factors that go into that. But it only takes about a week or two, and then they ship you out. Or you catch the chain. That's the term, where it's like you're leaving the prison. You're either leaving the prison to go home, or you're leaving the prison to go to another prison. So I was sitting there for 10 months just like anxious as hell, because, you know,
Not knowing.
not knowing exactly if I'm going to be going to a low or a medium, you know, or a camp. I didn't think I was going to go to a camp because of my record, but I didn't really understand how bad my record was.
So for people that don't know, what is camp?
So there's in the feds, there's
a fucking zoo, dude.
There's the security level of each prison. There's a camp, which is a minimal security. There's a low, there's a medium, there's a pen, and then there's a supermax, like the ADX. So anything over a medium and up, that's like you kind of want to you don't want to be there. You
Right.
know, I mean you don't want to be there. Period. But like,
It's just more extreme.
yeah, it's just you just got to be on time. And so the way that they designate you is by the number of points that they calculate for your security level. So it's like they factor in if you had an education, your age, your record, did you have any violence, and if you had violence, was it in between this amount of time, and then a bunch of other things that kind of the lower your score is, the lesser like the better chances that you'll go to like either like a lower camp. So I didn't really think I was going to go to a camp just because I did have a violence
History.
but it was about 12 years ago. So it kind of falls in between that, like either it would be like a 4 point or a 2, you know, and those 2 points would make the biggest difference, you know.
Right.
So while you're in there, everybody talks. You can ask people that like, what do you think? What do you think? But everybody's gonna say something different to you. So it's like, you really don't know. And and my lawyer wasn't really he wasn't reciprocating. He didn't know. He thought I was going to a medium straight off the
Yeah.
bat.
He was just kind of like taking it and then throwing it out.
They just spin you, you know? And everybody was just saying one thing and it's always the opposite of what you expect. So
They also control the math too. If they want to put you up,
if they
higher,
want,
they
yeah.
can.
Like they already fucked up by keeping me in there for that long, but at the same time, I just thought this is how it's supposed to be. This is something where I took it as, in a way, like,
Wait a minute, you were supposed to get out sooner?
no. I was supposed to get out of I was supposed to go get out of the detention center sooner.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
But I ended up sitting for 10 months in there, just anxious as hell, like, yo, where am I going? Where am I going? You know, and I kept hitting up the BOP, asking them if I've been designated. The marshal would just write back, it's like, not yet, not yet. Then I'm like, all right, maybe I'm just going to do the rest of my bid here because it's been so long. So we made the attempt to reach out to the BOP and BOP is the Bureau of Prisons, and the regional office or the main headquarters is in Grand Prairie, Texas. And that's where you try to reach out. You never get an answer.
Right.
Unless you have an outside organization hit them up for you, which
Right.
we ended up doing. And we reached out to the Aleph Institute, shout out Kayam, and he set things in motion. I literally hit him up on a Friday. On that Monday, I was designated. So then I was like, all right, thank God. So I was ready to get out of there because you're doing day by day in county. You're not doing you're not earning
It's not
any,
a countdown or nothing.
you don't earn any good time.
There's no established routine.
You're also locked down more. Correct me
You're
if
locked
I'm
down.
wrong.
You're
Yeah.
locked down. We were locked down probably, I want to say like 4 or 5 times a week, and those can be for like days, weeks, hours. You know, honestly, I was able to adjust to it. Like I was. The thing was, I was content at 10 months in, just being like, if I do it here, that's fine. But then when I found out like you're gonna be doing 100%. You're not gonna be earning any good time. Then I'm like, all right, I need to get out of here. You know,
Yeah.
I want to start earning. I want to start programming.
So you couldn't earn or do anything where you were.
No, I mean you could do program, but I already had my GED. That's really the only program that they offer there, because it's just pretty much for people that are either awaiting trial to be sentenced or that are waiting for a transfer. You know, waiting to get designated. And I finally got notified that I was being designated. So usually there's a few different days that you transfer to your prison, and they're not going to tell you where you're going until the day of, you know. So we were all talking, or like I've kind of narrowed it down. I like figured out the schedule. I'm like, all right, if you leave on a Friday, that means you're going to Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the MDC, the holdover that you go to, that you're going to, you usually stop there first for like a few weeks and then you go to another prison. It's pretty much diesel therapy. It's like you got to go to different places. And then, but if
Yeah.
you leave on a Wednesday, you usually go straight to Danbury, which is a low, or you go to the Tarmacs, which is Con Air, which is where, and I thought, and I didn't know that at the time.
Put the bunny in the box.
Yeah, like,
I thought of it too. Yeah.
so it was, and then there's Thursday. Thursday, if you left on a Thursday, that's when you go to Devon's camp, which is in Mass. It's like,
Okay.
that's where I was like, oh, I really want to leave on a Thursday. Every time I saw
Right.
people leaving on a Thursday, I'm like, yo.
Can I go?
Slide in line. Damn, I'm already here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, oops.
So like,
get your fucking ass whooped for trying to escape. Add 4
Dude,
years.
it's like Idiocracy. And he goes, "Oh, I'm actually supposed to get out today. Like I'm in the wrong line."
and then, yeah, so I ended up having to wait. I ended up getting the door, the knock on the door on a Wednesday. So I was like, oh shit, I might be going to Danbury. Because I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to be flying to Oklahoma,
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense.
especially when I only got like a year left, you know? And I'm like, I'm definitely going to Danbury.
Is that a roll of the dice, or do they? Obviously, they do that to separate people from their cases or whatever gang activity or whatever. But like, if you end up in Oklahoma for 4 or 5 years, is that just because they were like, "Fuck it, there's an opening there,"
No. So Oklahoma is
or wherever?
a holdover. Yeah. So usually they try to designate you 500 miles within your residence,
That's quick, real close.
but at the same time, it also depends on the length of your sentence. Say if you're a first offender, but you got 25 years, you're going straight to the pen. You know, you're gonna start there, and then you work your way down. But since I only had a short amount of time, I didn't see myself going further than New England. You know, I was either like going to. I was just banking on that I was just gonna go there. But I've also seen and saw people go to Oklahoma and then get transferred to Texas or California or different facilities when they live in Massachusetts.
So there's no real
And
rhyme or reason
there
behind
really
that.
wasn't.
They just,
There really wasn't.
oh, we need a number here, so we'll send them there.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I got on the bus, the CO started reading off the list, and he was just like telling everybody where they're going to, and he started saying all these penitentiaries. He's like, "You're going to Hazleton, you're going to Lewisburg, you're going to blah blah." And then before he got to my name, he's like, "I'll read the rest when we get to the airport." I'm like, "Fuck, we're going to the airport." So then I was like, "All right." So the whole way there, I'm like, "Please let me not go to the airport." Like I was like, I keep seeing signs of Danbury. I'm like, "Let me go to Danbury." You know, I was like, "What?" But I was like, at the same time, like it is what it is. You know, like
At that point, you're just like, whatever. Like,
It's not like you
I've
got
been
much
in-
of a choice.
No,
yeah,
it's just
been there
that-
long enough already. You're just like, just put me somewhere.
It's just that wherever I'm gonna go is gonna be bigger. There's gonna be more things to do. I'll be able to get out sooner. You know,
Unsentenced style blocks tend to be more
oh yeah,
like rowdy because everyone's on edge and shit too.
right.
Like fresh,
Coming
still there.
in, coming out pissed off, just got pepper sprayed, shit like that. Like that happens everywhere, but like in a specifically, the few months that I did, the unsentenced block sucked wicked bad. You're locked down all the time. It wasn't federal, but it's more
Similar,
like
it's county.
yeah, it's more like knucklehead shit all the time, and that's not how it always is in higher up prisons. So
Right.
I would.
Well, yeah, for the most part, it wasn't that. You know, if you're if you're going to a medium or if you're going to anywhere where there's like just politics all day, then you're gonna have to. There's some shit there, and you know, even some of the lows, there's a lot of politics. Anyways, so we passed that sign to Danbury, so I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to Danbury, you know. But I was still trying to be, you know, optimistic about it. and then we get to the airport, and then they started reading off the list, and then finally he says my name, and he's like, Montero, you're going to Danbury. I'm like, hell yeah.
You're like, all right, let's
Hell
go.
yeah, let's
Giddy
go.
up.
So I was like, all right. So like, being at the tarmacs was like a pretty surreal experience because it was just, you have this one big plane that had the American flag on it, and then the wings had like duct tape on it, you know.
So they had you on Spirit.
Yeah, this-
It was and you have just buses full of different facilities meeting there to transport. You see,
Seats and shit got to be all different, right?
I don't know. I didn't go in the plane, luckily, thank God. But they walked me. I was walking by the plane. I was just seeing people get in. Everybody shackled up, and then I get into a bus, and then the bus was going to Otisville to drop off people. Then it was going to Danbury. So, yeah, that's where I went. I went to Danbury, and
We all thought you were going to Rhode Island. Do you remember?
I was in
that's-
Rhode Island.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay.
yeah, I was in Rhode Island. That's where the detention center
Yeah,
was.
okay.
So, anyways, to kind of answer your question, like the brand started when I went to Danbury because I was able to start taking classes and start like I signed up for every class possible.
just to keep occupied.
Keep
just
occupied.
Do something.
Like my cousin, he's my co-D. He was there in Danbury, and he's the one that was he's pretty much the head of our indictment, and he's like, yo, just take every program you can, try to get a job, blah blah blah, shit's gonna fly by. And I was like, I bet. So like I signed up for whatever classes that they had, and most of them were just like arts and crafts, like, you know.
Just rinky dink, like
Yeah, but it helped.
retirement home stuff.
It helped.
Yeah, that's
It helped with your points. So I mean, either way, I still wanted to just do it. I was just like, fuck it. The only bad part is they were all kind of like, I mean, it wasn't. It was, they were all ran by like chomos, you know, and you just got to learn to adapt. You can't. If you want to stay in the low, you can't really act on that type
Instinct.
of. Yeah, like you gotta kind of do it in a way where it's not gonna bite you in the ass, you know.
Right.
So
What were all the classes?
I took painting. I took drawing one, grid drawing. I learned. I started building like a few books of just drawing. Like I was drawing every day. It helped like kill time. Like I would draw for 6 hours and just fly by, you know. And then I started doing like some writing. I wrote like a book in there.
Gonna publish that.
Eventually, you know. I mean,
Tattooing, maybe?
that's what I was. So one of my like mentors, like he ran the car that we were in. He was because the Asians ran with the natives, and he was the one that taught me how to draw. Like this dude, he's been down for 18 years. He caught a smack case, so like he's gonna be there for another 35. I mean, until 2035 or something like that. But he was out in the West, so he was just on some different time. Like he's just like, you know, like this is fucking weird over here because it's just way too. There's just too much moving around. Like it just wasn't what he was used to, you know. And the West Coast is just a different
Animal.
Yeah, it's a different animal. And like the natives out there ran shit, you know. But he was a beast. Like his artwork, he would draw in pen all the time, and everything would just come out crazy. Like I just to see someone draw something in blue pen, like I'm
That's how you know it's gonna be good. They're drawn in pen. No
there-
mistakes.
yeah, no mistakes.
No mistakes.
No mistakes. Like even if you think he's making a mistake, he like does some magic where it turns into fucking clouds or something. I'm like, wow, damn, it's crazy. So he taught me how to draw.
Decorate the envelopes and shit. Like,
Yeah, that
you know.
was his hustle too. Was drawing and you know, making cards for the inmates when Mother's Day came. Like he banked. Like we would sit down at the table, me, my co-D, him, and just all day. Like I'd be cutting out shit for him, like little fucking hearts or whatever, and then you know, we would sell them for like $2. and we would just, that was like the hustle for him and tattooing. But I wanted to get something done by him, but like he didn't like tattooing in the summertime because there's no ACs in the unit, so it's
just too hot.
Staph infection, just sweating all the time wasn't
MRSA.
something. Yeah, he's like, I got you in the fall. I'm like, all right. But then I just realized that, he still hasn't sent me the picture, so I realized he's just a lazy piece of shit. But he's the homie. But like,
Shut up.
for the most part, he taught me how to draw. He taught me how to kind of get my creativity back. Like, so that's where I started to like plot. Like, I'm like, all right, I want to start a brand again.
Mm.
The idea wasn't solidified until it came out, but like that's where I really tried to dial in and just be like, listen, this is what I want to do when I get out. This is what I think I'm decent at least like creating content for the market, like the marketing standpoint, like just building the whole, as Brad would say, like the lore, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But, like,
lore.
The lore, brother.
The lore.
so I just that was the goal. I mean, that was where it kind of stemmed from to kind of reconnect with that.
Everybody.
Yeah, and just but I wanted to do it to things that just made more sense and just made it more seamless and
It's clean looking too. It doesn't scream prison.
well, that's what it's not really like I mean I didn't really want it to be like a prison brand. Like there's some dudes that they've been down for their whole life. They get out, they start a prison line and it just looks like trash.
25 to life.
Yeah, well,
Dude, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Move
I
on.
know.
I'm not doing
The
it.
lore.
so like yeah, it was just that's where the shit just sparked. You know what I'm saying? So I did that when I got out. I just kind of was just super inspired. I wasn't trying to get overstimulated because not having like we had cell phones and shit like on the weekends. Like I would rent one out, but it was only for an hour, 2 hours at a time. So I wasn't really looking at brands. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You weren't scrolling through Pinterest trying to.
What were you looking up? Just curious.
like cooking recipes.
Oh,
and shit,
okay. How to make mofongo, of course.
well, I learned how to do that too. So yeah, we just when I came out, I was just focused on a few things that I was really interested in, and how and the one thing was really just trying to figure out how people are marketing these days, and it's just really being consistent.
Yeah, it's a different beast.
It's not like when I ran my first brands, I would post like once a month. You got to be doing shit, putting it out there like every.
You got to be annoying about it.
It's
and
and that's the thing where it's like you got to kill your ego because it's like.
That's where like my thing is, like I do like my career without going into detail is like marketing for like big corporate companies and stuff like that, and like customer engagement, stuff like that. So like it's annoying, but it's got to get done.
It's annoying because it's like you can only bank on your friends to like reshare shit so many times before they're like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro.
Right. But
so it's like
when you know it's working.
But when they're not resharing and then you're having other people reshare or getting it out there, then it's working.
One turns to two turns to four, that whole domino thing.
Like I'm grateful that it's being supported to this point already, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I don't want to be annoying about it and just keep like expecting that. So I'm really trying to figure out ways that it just organically.
Yeah.
I don't feel you're expecting anything. I mean, beyond the fact that you have, a nation full of friendships, the hardcore community tends to support its own,
And I see that too. Like I said, it's a whole kill your ego thing, like no one really is staring at you and just being like,
what's he doing?
Yeah.
Like
You making money doesn't fuck me up. Or not money, but just like anything you're doing doesn't impede on what I'm doing. And I feel like
nowadays is more like everybody trying to be like, I hope everybody else is successful.
And that's exactly what I want. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like this podcast, I want this shit to be successful. Like whatever endeavors you guys are taking on, like that's the whole goal is.
Yeah.
as long as we're staying in tune, we're staying in touch with our passions, and it all aligns to, the foundation is hardcore to me, but like just being creative is
It's like that's what it boils down to. Too. It's like there's no other, I guess you say, like community or realm that like no matter what somebody has as like a creative passion, like everybody's just like do it
right
here. Like everywhere else, it's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
there's like this weird sense of shame. Like if you want to be super creative with something, everybody else is so quick to be like, it's
gatekeeping.
I've noticed
Yeah.
that. I've
Yeah.
noticed that this community is really accepting. A lot of people want to pretend it's fucking not because Reddit.
yeah,
But you can do anything you want, and the people that fuck with it will. The people that won't. And it also happens to be like, I think it's classy and good what you've done so far. I don't know. Admittedly, I don't know the layout or the plans of what you're doing, but I like what I've seen so far.
I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate.
Also, this is
one.
a great quality shirt. I wanted to bring it up so they know. This is like a heavy cotton or whatever it's made of. So
250
it's not cheap shit.
GSM.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what's the first drop gonna look like? Do you have like a series of shirts, or just kind of like one thing at a time, limited, buy it now or you can never get it again?
It all. I'm playing it by ear, really, as far as like how long, if I'm gonna pull it or just let it run out, or keep it going.
I actually really like the aspect of like one and done releases, because then it kind of becomes
5
like
only,
become like a test press vinyl. Like if you don't get it now,
I like that idea too. I just would like to, if it's making money, then keep
why
it
not?
It's hard to
Exactly.
be sustainable on a $40 hoodie.
Yeah.
Once.
once and then
know.
just let it
Yeah,
go.
you can get to the point where you're retiring something.
There's
for
a few
sure.
things that I'll probably I will retire, and then probably some staple pieces that'll stay up, and then obviously like if I'm doing more like special collabs or something like
Yeah.
that, then those will be limited, which I got a few in the works that I'm really excited
Yeah.
to bring to the public soon.
So the drop is tomorrow. This will probably be out after the fact. What can
Like next week.
people
Yeah.
expect?
So we have, there's 6. Like I was narrowing it. I mean, right now there's 8 items. That's the
8
total. 8 items. There's 6 shirts. There's a cutoff and there's a tote bag. I was gonna do a lot more, but if I give too many options, it might scare the consumer away.
Yeah,
Less is
yeah.
more.
Less is
is
more.
more for sure. I always say that with like a lot of things, people like to overcomplicate something.
Right.
And if you just flood the gates with 50 things, people are like, well,
And that's
Yeah.
and that's also like something that I learned in the past too. I mean, I think that it's just good to have things on the burner anyways, because that's just more ammunition for either content or
Yeah.
just to kind of get people excited again. So just if the reception's well, then I'll continue to just put more things out quicker.
yeah, whatever the demand is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because if they want it now, they'll still want it in a month.
yeah.
100%.
And it's with that seasonal thing too. Like we're going into the spring season now, so like cutoffs and stuff like that. And then when it gets back to the winter time, be like, hey, here's a
Hoodie.
jacket or something.
And yeah, like I wanted to drop these hoodies too because they came out really good. And
I buy hoodies year round.
Yeah.
Because if I see something I like, I don't want to be like, winter
mean-
comes and it's not there.
I'm pretty much like content with this initial offering, and I think that it's gonna. We'll see if it does well or not, but I
Right.
think it's a good number.
Yeah.
So I think it represents, because we didn't really unveil a lot of like the designs. Like it's mainly just this one that's just everywhere that that we've been putting on our
On like a hoodie and then
on a shirt.
Yeah.
And then it's like these crazy detailed clips online.
The lore videos.
I was gonna bring that up. Is you're talented with like the video editing and stuff, even if it is just, I don't know how you're doing it, but even if it is just iPhone or whatever, but the game nowadays, almost you have to have like a street model wearing and doing a cool video, and like to have that 15-second reel or whatever. So is that dropping tomorrow too? Is there more of that, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm actually I have to, it's like 25% done. This reel or video that I'm putting out tomorrow to go with the drop. But like I said, ever since I came out, I've just been stacking on content and product. So it's not like I'm running out. I just need to find a better structure on how I delegate my task to myself.
Right.
Because,
Yeah, I get that.
you know, it's like I was planning on releasing the first drop in April, but I'm like, all right, I feel like it wouldn't. I just want to kind of catch it while it's
catch it while it's hot.
yeah, while it's hot. So I think that I just that's why if you noticed, maybe Brad noticed, but like I wasn't posting on the feed like for like a month or so. I was just posting on the stories.
Yeah.
And then once I posted on the feed, then I'm like, all right, I got to post every other day, or at least every other day. You know, this week I only posted on Monday just because I didn't want to saturate it. I wanted it to just kind of like I'll continue to post in the story until Friday, which is when I'm gonna do the other post, and then from there I'll be a little bit more annoying with it. You know.
Yeah, people have terrible attention spans.
Right.
So if you're only posting like once in a blue moon, people have no idea.
They're ready to forget about you.
Yeah, they'll forget about you in like a week if you're not
that's why
doing
I'm
shit.
that's what I'm
They'll
saying.
forget about you in the swirl.
Oh, I'm already forgot about.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's the whole nature of the game, and it's just being consistent. But I do at the same time. I'm not trying to lose the underlying like aesthetic of the brand. You know, I'm not trying to sacrifice the quality just to put out like a 15-second reel that I potentially think would go viral.
You have to believe in it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I see tons of different brands that just post shit that's just like, oh, this is what they're doing, so I'm gonna post that. That's not what I want to do, really.
It's all copycat stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would want my friends, like if it's like it's crazy because when my friends repost it, it means way more than like a stranger to me. You know, because it's like it's something that we all like. I believe in it. If my friends believe in it, then it just feels like it's working. You know,
Right.
And
It's like a community thing.
I don't think my friends are gonna want to post like shit that they don't believe in or they don't think is like worth their time to.
Yeah.
That it
It's a
represents
reflection of them. Yeah. So, like, where did the name 100 series come from?
So, 100 series means in prison there's whenever you catch a shot, right? A shot is like a disciplinary action, like a infraction. Like there's a tier. So a 300 series is something from contraband, like cigarettes, or like you're out of bounds. The 200 series, and then the 100 series is the greatest severity. So 100 series shot is like from violence to murder to escape, shit like that. So pretty much it means the worst possible outcome, right? So 100 series is the worst possible outcome. But then in society standards, in society's eyes, 100 means the best possible outcome.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
But I'm not trying to do it like in a wankster type of way. Like I'm not like, oh, keep it 100 type shit. It's more like I'm just trying to do 100 to 100, like from at your worst to becoming your best.
Yeah.
But using the name stemmed from being in the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, makes sense. I like that a lot. Is it just you doing everything, or do you have like people that you can hang on?
It's just me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's me and my friends. Like my friends help me out. Like everybody in the videos, it's all friends. It's like I'm not really. I honestly, it's like there's brands out there that pay influencers and micro influencers to help them push the shit. I believe my friends
micro influencers. Yeah.
I believe my friends have enough influence to help me out where it's not like I need to do all that shit. So it's like that's really
and they want to, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
and it's really the
if you hit up
more
some
organic too.
it's more organic.
You hit up some micro influencer and they're like, "Well, how much you paying me?"
And
like,
we're gonna push it to our like soccer moms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not something that I wanted.
It's like I mentioned earlier before we started recording. Is like it's just like I saw it and I'm like, oh, it's like a streetwear brand. Would you say streetwear? But it's like Supreme or Bodega, stuff like that.
It's a broad.
Yeah, it's a broad term. Yeah, but it's cool. it reminded me of this brand I like a lot called 100 Thieves, because they're more like gaming type shit, like it's esports or whatever. But it was released based on he was like, I want it to be a cool streetwear brand, but it's also heavy emphasis on like esports and stuff. I'm not saying it's like like that, but
It's a niche.
It's a niche, but you have a niche of like already a community. You know what I mean?
And it's possible to make it bigger than what it is.
Exactly.
Because, you know, if...
It's not just a prison shirt.
No.
Yeah.
And
That helps.
It's not just a hardcore shirt. It's not siloed.
Yeah, 100%. And it's gonna evolve once, like, if other subcultures are evolving, it's gonna evolve too, because that's what we're into. So whatever obviously hardcore has been a part of my life since I was a teenager,
forever,
maybe even longer. So it's like that's gonna be something that's gonna always be a part of it, and it's always growing, it's always evolving. So therefore, it's a big enough market where people can understand the project. You know?
Yeah, there's like a larger message behind it too. So it's not just like a clothing brand. Do you have any other like because as of right now you have like just a lot of clothes that are coming out with it. Is there type of other stuff you want to do with it?
Yeah.
Make like a
Without
Stanley
giving
cup.
too much away, obviously.
You said what?
I'm just talking shit. Said I would make a Stanley cup.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing more obscure things as long as it makes sense. You know, I really do like I don't want to be like a fitness athleisure type brand,
Right.
but I wouldn't mind making like shit that people can. It's
Get a value out of.
yeah, it's functional. You know,
Yeah.
like, I want to do more functional items. That is incorporated with our goals. You know.
No, it's something I
do a
thought of when
showcase.
I saw 100 series. For some reason in my head, I saw a brand like on a back of a skateboard.
100%.
Like I saw that and I was like, that would be a cool board.
And that's a
Could link up with Brandon Davis about that.
yeah. Shout out.
Shout out Lighthouse
That's
Skateboard.
right.
Shout
He's
out
coming on
Brandon
next.
Davis. Man, you cursed it, dude.
Allegedly.
Edited.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
I feel bad because I was supposed to. Like we both are from Massachusetts, and I was in LA a couple weeks ago. And we were supposed to link up, but it was the night before I was gonna take off, and we had an early flight, and he just touched down like, you know, that evening, and I just don't like flaking on people now. Like before, I didn't care. Like I was like, oh, I'm not. I don't even pick up my phone.
Bro, it's not
Yeah.
flaking. You know how many times I've flown across the country to hang out with my friend that's been at the same fest I didn't see for 3 days in a row?
I get it.
It just happens.
I get it. I just the integrity part, you know. But I mean, I'm not gonna ghost you. But like, I just hope, you know.
He's sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Brandon. Like, I wanted to hang out with you, and I'm gonna see. It's like I try. Like we're here, so we can just hang out here. But I don't know, for some reason, when you're both in LA, like we have to link up. But I did get to see a lot of the LA homies, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's different when you like know somebody that's going to a different state. You're like, oh
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
it's a familiar.
It's a different.
thing.
It's a different
It's a
thing.
different thing.
hang.
Let's experience these palm trees together.
Yeah.
You're better here.
We're not at espressos. We're here.
But,
You
hey,
know?
listen, that's hard to top. What was your first band?
My first band was called Ill Breed. It was like some rapcore band.
Hell yeah!
I was
Bring back rapcore.
Well, I don't know.
I was the vocalist.
Lore.
Lord. See,
I sang for another band called On Dogs too. I don't know if you remember that
That's
one.
an awesome name, too. For this
On
area,
Dogs.
that's awesome.
out of pocket.
Out of pocket, yeah.
That's the lore.
What the fuck? So how did I thought your first band was Since the Flood. I'm aloof.
No. So Ill Breed, that was the name of that rapcore band, Ill Breed. we were like 12, 11 years old. 11 to 12, something
Must
like
have
that.
been good.
No, it was very good. We lasted for like maybe 6 months,
Sounds about right.
and I started to get into hardcore more. You know, like I think my first hardcore show was Hatebreed, because it was a Hatebreed show at Sharky's in Nashville, New Hampshire. Because Illbreed played that show. We sold tickets.
So your first show
What a
was with
different time.
Hatebreed?
Yes, it wasn't my first show with Hate. It wasn't our first show with Hatebreed. It was like my first hardcore show.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, what a first show.
And I knew who Hatebreed was. Like I had the Victory sampler, and like
Oh man, I remember those.
Last Breath was like my fucking my jam. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just so I was excited, but like you
You didn't know what to expect.
You didn't know what to expect. You know, especially
It's
being
the best part.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. That's
to
what,
this day.
That's what made me like excited about hardcore. Was it was so different than just like your new metal show. You know? What I'm
Yeah,
saying?
just gonna go see a Slipknot in
That's-
House of Blues or something.
Right. And it was scary. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, and then after that, Diecast was another band that like was a
Diecast.
big.
Oh, what's funny?
Shout out.
My first like big boy amp, I bought off that guitarist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bought my 5150 off of him.
But they were just
Believe.
at that time it was just to me like this shit is insane, you know? Like this shit is like what I want to be a part of, you know?
Yep.
There was this show that they played at Drifters in I think in Nashville, and the owner unplugged their set, like unplugged
course.
the surge protector
That
because
always goes well.
Normal owner stuff. Yeah.
it's supposedly you can't dance at the show, you can't mosh and nothing
Oh,
like
we
that.
love those.
Something that also goes well.
So that was like the first time I've seen like violence at a show, like besides just like moshing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then the lore behind that band just kept growing and growing, and the bigger that they got, like the more violent they got, and it was just something that I fell in love with, you know?
Yeah, it's different. What was it like? Did you have friends that were just like, hey, you got to come check this out? Or is it kind of like you and your friends just looking for something to do?
Yeah, no, I had friends. It was hard to kind of break into that realm first because a lot of them like were gatekeeping and like, oh, you're a fucking new metal band. Like, I'm not gonna hang out with you.
Yep.
You know. But
I had a lot of that too. I wasn't in a new metal band, but
You love new metal?
I looked like a fucking bag of shit when I was a kid. So
so did I. I used to wear like the UFOs and a visor. You know. So
Oh, hell yeah.
I had long black hair and a beanie 24/7.
long hair.
Like
Yeah.
not much
Dude.
has changed. I just
Straight
Straight
hair.
long black hair.
Damn.
pig squealing
I mean,
through
the
the hallways.
beanie thing lasted till like a few years ago.
I still
I mean, a beanie's a beanie.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Playboy visor.
yeah no
the
that's
Playboy
To be
visor,
fair,
so-
it's never a beanie. It's a ski mask.
yeah.
That's true. It's always a ski mask. What was your like favorite bands growing up when you finally got introduced to it?
Blood for Blood. Blood has been shed. Pretty much anything
Sick.
with blood in
Sick.
it.
With blood in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of blood.
Big fan.
Just
has
that
been
era.
changing,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
obviously Hatebreed was one of my favorite. Like,
You're a Connecticut guy. You're
Yeah.
you're a Connecticut guy.
yeah.
Fucking
Death Threat.
Traitor.
That's right.
You know, that era. Like, I wasn't like like I didn't really like I was growing up with the music that was in that era. I didn't go
the
back in
time.
time and just was like listening to everything that.
Right.
I eventually knew about those bands later, but like I wasn't an OG that was like.
You didn't go buy a $200 obituary shirt off Merch Swap?
You weren't at the Rat.
I wasn't at the Rat.
At the rat.
You know, I was just, but I did follow what was current. You know, and at that time it was some good bands.
Just so happened to grow up in the era where all that stuff was happening.
Yeah, and I was also like, I was about to say transitioning, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Is that a new pause?
You already said came out today, so I don't know.
I just wanted to. I was in this right after that new metal band that I was in. I was in this metalcore band, and then I started to kind of get more into hardcore once they kicked me out of that metalcore band. So I was in a phase where I was still doing metalcore shit and trying to be in a hardcore band, which was Since the Flood.
Yeah.
But Since the Flood had that metalcore like element to it back in the day.
For sure.
But like, I would play a show with my shoes off.
Since the Flood is the best band ever.
Well, I was
He's like, oh yeah.
Shoes or no shoes.
but it was just funny because I wasn't really aware of what I was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one really
Nobody
was
really
either.
knows,
It
yeah.
was just when I look back at it, because it honestly just kind of struck my memory when I was watching. There was a video on YouTube that I was watching like a couple days ago that was like one of the early Since the Flood shows that I'm like, I just took my shoes off.
Just out of instinct.
Just gotta
you're
get air.
Like, fuck it.
Just gotta breathe.
Gotta
in.
air them
Yeah.
puppies out.
That's what I was.
Hair gel and bare feet.
What's so Since the Flood, I know probably Steve will know because he's band lord, but what's the repertoire? Like where are all these bands that you've been in?
So the
We're all
Since
bands
the
you wanna
Flood,
play.
Hammer Bros.
So the metalcore band was called Eyes Like Autumn, and
Very metalcore.
yeah,
Very Ferret Records.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly,
Yeah.
Ferret. Dude.
exactly.
I know things.
No, it just fucking. I haven't heard it. In
That's a
while.
Oh,
flashback. Yeah,
Nostalgia bomb.
Boom. The gun.
the gun.
Yeah.
People bring up Victory Records, but I'm like
Ferret.
Ferret. Ferret Records.
Same.
It was like same thing.
Nora, yeah.
Yeah.
Rock Vegas forever.
But yeah, we once I was in Since the Flood, we wrote the demo. I did backup vocals in it. I don't know if you have that demo, but it was like a 4-song demo.
I have something Since the Flood, but I don't know where it might be. I just have like
I used
random
to have
stuff.
It, like I used to have at least the electronic, but I don't even have that iPod anymore. It might be on the one you just restarted.
Oh, I'll have to
Steve.
check.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you can clearly hear me.
I am very noticeable.
And we played for probably a couple years. Like I was in it for probably like a year or 2 years, and then lineup changed. They kicked me out.
Shame. It was it because of your shoes?
I mean, it could have been.
We're going
I
in a
don't-
shoe direction.
Yeah, like-
it's
The
no disrespect. It's just
the replacements, they just had more tattoos than me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, they're all good friends of mine too now. So
Remember when that was a thing? Where like bands were like, that guy's fully tattooed up.
or
let's get
like
him in.
they're like you had this dude with shoes off versus this
Guy with shoes.
with
It's
neck
crazy. It's hard to
tattoos.
compete with.
Yeah.
they're all wearing Nikes. They must be a beatdown band.
I don't know if this is like a true thing or not, but I saw a long time ago, years ago, for Stick to Your Guns. The singer like absolutely hated tattoos, and he was like, I don't want to get any tattoos, but the label was like, this is the image. It's either you have them or we kick you out of the band. Like the label said that. So he just got neck down.
Things I would nip. Is that's real?
I heard about it. I don't know if it's factual. Hopefully
if you
somebody knows.
One, if you as a hardcore band of any kind put yourself in a position to get fucked in a label like that, you deserve it. Second of all, what?
I heard this a long time ago. I don't know if there's any actual weight behind it.
That
But
sounds crazy.
But it
That's
always
wild.
stuck with me, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that's real, right? But it strikes me as something that a corrupt label would do.
Separates a heart from the heartless.
Yeah, the last good album they had.
I never got into that band.
You know, the first album was like
It
the only
was a fun time.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
when he just did Inhale Gutturals for the first whole album, and then the band was like, you need to cut that shit out
I thought they got a new vocalist or something.
or something.
Maybe
Whatever
that's what it
happened.
was. Guy with tattoos.
New tattoos.
That was like the thing is when people started getting Warped Tour sleeves. is only get tattoos where they show.
Yeah, there's a lot of those still.
I guess I don't
Tattoos
notice
suck.
it.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah.
had, yeah. They, oh my god.
I tell
dude,
people
don't even
not to
wanna-
get them, and they're just like,
What tattoo hurt the most? How much money did you spend? Did they hurt? What spot? What hurt the most? How much money did you spend?
nobody
Get away
has,
from me!
nobody has tattoo etiquette anymore.
There is no.
They never
I didn't-
did.
That's true. They never did,
Except
Yeah.
in prison.
except in prison.
You
Because
don't really talk
nobody
about no one's
cares.
tattoos in there.
Yeah, you don't ask people what their tattoos mean. That's crazy. Like to
Yeah.
me, like it doesn't matter the situation. It could be like a normal person. But if you're like, "Hey, what does that mean?" That's aggressive to me.
Mm.
Like, leave me alone.
People are too open.
Yeah. You don't need to know, dude.
Yeah, that's just like a weird thing with the culture. Hardcore though, it's like
It's for my dad. Who cares?
uh,
Who are you?
just
Go
a thing.
away.
Like you can kind of spot us out from a mile away. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's saturated. I think everybody, like, if you don't have a tattoo, then something's wrong with you.
Yeah, in this culture anyway.
Now, there's different.
I mean, I respect.
kind of
Yeah,
tattoos.
I respect you if you don't have tattoos, but if you are just somebody that's just
I would have never gotten tattooed if I knew I was going to be compelled to fucking finish. My OCD fucking trips me. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That's
I wouldn't
the
have
problem.
started.
the older you get, the more they hurt. So it's like my back's never gonna get finished.
How do you guys feel about the like getting knocked out, getting a full body sleeve in a day? I think it's fucking sick.
It's like, I mean,
Maybe not at
if
18,
you got
but
if you got the money to do it, but there's obviously more risk with that, right?
not one guy died, dude, and who cares?
See, one guy died. That's all it
One
needs.
guy.
That's all you need.
Someone's died from traditional.
I mean, I'm
tattooing.
not gonna do it, but that's probably because you're probably
That's only
spending.
because you don't have the money. You like
That-
tattoos.
yeah.
If you had, if
I'm
I
still
think it's,
getting-
I think it's 10 grand to get put under to have X amount of artists do like a torso piece
Yeah.
or something.
I
don't
mean,
know,
if
right?
you can
Say
afford
it's
it,
10 grand.
then-
If 10 grand to you is just you just throw it, it doesn't. It's like throwing $10. Why wouldn't you go do that? Like, I hate the people that are like, oh, I got tattooed before numbing cream was invented. Fucking cool. It got invented, you loser. Like, this shit
Right.
sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll use numbing cream all day.
Yeah.
If I had a
Yeah.
really
You ever
good
had
one,
your skull tattooed? Like, it sucks.
There's nothing to be proud of. Like it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Like, like you don't have to try to. I don't know if I see that anymore. Is like people trying to be tough guys about it. It's like, oh, my tattoos didn't
You
hurt.
haven't been on the internet.
Well,
I mean,
probably
there's
stay
tough
away from
guys
that.
everywhere about everything, every little stupid thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. I will say,
I
like,
fall asleep. It feels good. It's therapy. Even if all that is true, shut up.
it's not therapy. Fault.
Sucks.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Like I'm so miserable about it. Like
Certain spots too, man.
I just like
They all suck.
recently, like not even 2 years ago, I think, got my whole chest done. God damn,
feel you.
dude.
Do you?
I don't know, like why I did it at this point in my point of my life. You know what I mean? But like I'm just kind of like in that zone. I had like 2 scratcher things that I just really wanted to cover up, and I was like, I'm just gonna do my entire chest. And then he started on the sternum. That was awesome.
Yeah, but you said you're not going to finish your back.
Probably not for a while. I mean, I have no motivation to do that right now. I did add more shit to it like recently,
Yeah.
but like I don't care if it's incomplete.
Pieces of the back, like low key, suck wicked bad too. Like
It
there's like
sucks.
there's like a section of muscles on each side of your spine, under your shoulder blades, that hot fire from first line to last bit of color. It just sucks wicked bad, and I have like PTSD from it. I never want to get that spot tattooed.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where like I want to keep going, but I'm also like, if you get your back done, I like can never see it. So like you like have to like hold up like a secondary mirror.
It's for
and
when
shit.
it's for the hose. It's not for you.
It's for the hoods.
You take your shirt off at the beach with the flag.
Fair enough. So here's something we ask people: what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
I'm above that. I don't have time
Yeah.
for all that. So
I mean, I the whole fucking the Trump really get shot at, or was that
That's a good one.
was that just a marketing scheme for his campaign? Because I mean, that's the most recent one that like stuck out to me.
Not to
there's a few.
defend him, that's a hard shot to fake. Like,
But
one
but
mess up,
also,
his head comes off.
but it's one of those weird scenarios to where like just
The story's bullshit.
the perfect domino of effect of events prevented him from getting shot.
No, I'm not saying
You know what
they
I mean?
didn't let the kid make the shot, but to say it was like a false shot to get people on his side, that's a fucking close risk to take.
It's also just whatever happened in post. Like, I don't know. I've been involved in shootouts, and allegedly, well, not like me. Just
In theory.
In theory, if I
and
were
every
to.
single time, I'm on the ground. The minute I hear, and to see just the bleachers just have no reaction was kind of just like,
Devil's
little
advocate.
weird.
I'm just gonna say it's a bunch of white people. They've never been around it. They could have thought you in that scenario have been around shots. You understand the difference between what a gunshot or a multiple gunshot sounds like as opposed to a firecracker or whatever.
even in a firecracker, I thought it was a firecracker. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but people don't react like that unless
That's
they've
trauma.
been exactly. They haven't. That's my point. So if you've never been around a gun or you don't know what it is, just pop. What the fuck? Pop. Oh shit! Like it takes a second. It like you know what I mean. Not always, but like look at the. I think in the Vegas shooting, it took a second for people to realize what was going on too. It's like the person that gets hit. And those surrounding people obviously are like, yo, and they freak out. But somebody 40 feet away with no clear view doesn't know. You know, so
Interesting.
JFK files got released.
I got a fucked one for you. Conor McGregor announced he's running for president of Ireland, like while we started recording.
Oh, yeah, I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Isn't Ireland like falling right now? Isn't something weird going on
So
there?
Connor came over to here to meet with Trump
Yeah.
to go over some stuff. And I guess Conor McGregor's like, I'm going to run for president.
They brought
Fight every other president.
They brought up. Didn't Connor just have like a pretty bad case or something?
Oh
recently?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it found like
The old
he
SA.
like did it right.
They found him guilty on like one charge of like sexual assault or something like that. Out of like
I heard 300
300.
was pretty fucking bad.
I mean, it's Connor. He's off his rocker, so it's probably true.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe profiling here, but it's probably true.
No, like I think it got in the court. It was true. I'm not questioning whether it was true. I think the story though that was like he like pushed a tampon in and shit.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Like-
Damn it.
I didn't know.
So
that
that's
part.
that's the
something.
president of Ireland. I guess.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. You ever hear about the ice wall?
No.
Ice wall. That's better. You're better off.
Is that like the Mexican wall?
the Canada wall. Yeah. Yeah.
The wall of ice.
No, it's the.
I thought it was just like
Antarctica.
ICE officers making a wall or something.
The Antarctica. If you believe in such things, they won't let us pass the ice wall. They won't let us know what's back there, dude.
What do you think's back there?
I don't think there's anything back there, but there are people out there that do. And I'm just curious. And I
Allegedly.
want to know if they're right or not.
Allegedly, I don't believe in it.
I got no interest in the Epstein files. I got no interest in the Clintons. I got no interest in Antarctica.
Do you think the Epstein thing is being dragged out for what it is?
I think the reason they released JFK is because no one's alive to give a fuck. There's people with money that
Still
we
tied
can't
in.
even fathom. I'm not even talking like Bezos money. I'm talking like Saudi Emirate money that went, here's a bunch of money. Every single file is going to get deleted and burned right now. Mm-hmm. Like,
So I
it's not
guess-
going to come out. Or if it does come out, it's going to be in 150 years when everybody's dead. And then no one's going to care.
So I guess from what I saw is JFK was probing the government 10 days before he got shot about releasing files about UFOs.
No, dude, the summary of it. I took the the 80,000 pages that just got like released or whatever.
And you read every single one of them.
Yeah, quick. I went to Grok and I said, "Hey, summarize the JFK documents for me and make an educated assumption of who did what and who orchestrated it." Right. Long story short, everybody did that. Long story short, a small clique within the CIA conspired to get him killed with Harvey Oswald in Mexico City. Met a guy, whatever. Israel, all over it. All over those fucking pages.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, the CIA did it, and I think it's 2 shooters as well. And also the mob. The mob is involved too. But
They're
not
always
like
involved.
not like the New York, not like the movie mob. Like
Right.
Like there's Texas and because Dallas and but like that's the Louisiana mob. Traficante maybe his name. I was reading a lot about it, but
Don't you love how
More-
you can
more
just
will
summarize
come.
everything through AI now?
well, but it's not though because you still have to go get. You have to get everything. Not
You gotta
just the
watch out for
files that were
hallucinations too. It's only
The
good for up
vibrations.
to like 500 characters, and then it's just making shit up.
Really
Yeah, dude.
interesting. Well, but that's what I'm about to say is you have to take it with a grain of salt anyway until everybody or somebody does actually go through everything and they go through the other evidence that's been released throughout the years and the other videos. They find out which is real, which isn't, and then in a couple years we'll have like a movie about it. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a documentary being made about it right now.
Oh yeah, there's like a cheap Netflix one being. I'm looking forward to the Diddy one. 50's gonna make.
Did he do it?
Yeah,
Diddy
50's
did it.
like no, he did it.
He
no,
did
yeah,
it.
he did it.
Everybody's saying, like, even Diddy's lawyers are leaving him right now.
They were saying because he was like doing necromancy. How horny do you have to be
Wait.
to be doing necromancy?
Hold on, necromancy is bringing the dead
Yeah.
back.
I know.
You're-
Look it up.
Is he trying to resurrect people?
Listen, the lawyer quit, and this lawyer has defended Guantanamo terrorists. Look it up.
I honestly think he's gonna have a good time in prison.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Him and R. Kelly are just chilling.
Wasn't he just? Yeah, we brought it up one other time. He was on video just cruising around on like a go kart.
Yeah, he had like a little
He's fine.
hologram or
He's,
whatever.
he's fine.
Yeah, you got enough money, you'll be fine everywhere.
Here's the thing: is money makes it so things don't matter.
That's true.
Can't
You
stop,
only-
won't stop.
You only go to prison if you're broke. You think Ghislaine Maxwell's sitting in a cell?
She was supposedly at the women's prison next to the satellite that was next to Danbury. But
They have her in a hole somewhere, getting
Getting jiggy with it.
not having a good time. Or she's on an island somewhere because she has the most amount of money in the world.
Fair.
Clone, body double.
Yeah.
Did you look it up or no?
No. I took your word for it.
He took his word for it.
Yeah. Diddy does necromancy. Yep, that's enough for me.
Now, I did want to circle around to G, when before you started getting back into art and stuff, you were doing art with hardcore, right? Like doing layouts and stuff for bands?
yeah,
Hold up.
I promise I wasn't setting this up.
If we can get it just a good.
You're going to have to bring it closer.
Oh, you son of. Yeah.
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go, dude.
I didn't do that layout though. I think
If we could get, get a good zoom in on the drawing of G. Shout out to the Skull Man.
Let's see if you can go to Brad's cam. There we go.
Oh, dude.
Look at that. Look at its glory.
So what art were you doing?
I would just take commission pieces from
Merch swap, $500.
I meant like the actual layouts.
yeah,
'Cause,
like
like-
I was doing. I did a bunch of layouts for different bands. I can't really remember off the top. There's just a lot. Like like if it was layouts or just shirt design, merch designs. I was doing just other non-hardcore related projects too. Triad. I was doing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I still try to get like at least a few projects a week, just to keep it going. And then, but I'm kind of just narrowing it to like things that I want to do, so I don't have to put a lot of thought into like, is this gonna make sense for them or not? Because that was like the hardest part, was doing something for, say, like a CBD line, and then then just putting a bunch of chains on it. They're like, "What the fuck is
Chains,
this?"
A bunch of
vipers, you know what I mean?
chains. Yeah.
CBD.
So, I just work with shit that I want to do. You know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like you're super proud of that you like did in the past for like bands that you're like, fuck yeah, I did that, and you see it?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch. Like just working with the like bands that.
A Street Power one just recently, right?
I did Street Power like a few years ago. I haven't done anything recently for them, but
Just recently. Yeah.
like I've done shit for Death Before Dishonor. That was cool. King Nine,
King Nine.
You mentioned Zabalba,
Zabalba,
Rude Awakening.
Rude Awakening. I did the layout, like a lot of their layouts. Who else? Shit. Did I do one? No, I didn't do one for Instigate.
No.
I'm not cool enough.
Yeah. Instigate does.
We're
what
not
Instigate
cool
does.
enough, dude.
But yeah, like I did a really cool design recently for In Remembrance, but I don't think they put it out yet.
Shout out.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's cool.
But
They're
it's
awesome.
I wanted it to come out because I would wear that. I would wear pretty much a lot of the stuff that I put out now.
Yeah.
You know, back then I was just trying to get that money, but
Yeah.
and if they liked it,
It's cool finally being able to be like, I see a lot of people just putting out like clothing lines and like designs that are just like, I'm just gonna pump out a bunch of shit for people, but
Canva
like,
brands.
yeah, but you're like putting out stuff that, like I want to wear. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would only put stuff like that too that like I would wear myself. So like that's what I like about it.
I like that bleach one. I told you that. I don't know if you released it or not, but you had teased a bleach spray one or whatever.
Not
Bleach
yet.
tie-dye.
Bleach dye.
Well, we can edit that if you'd like.
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I just want to see the movie because I can't get over the clips.
Oh, the tomorrow.
Just all of it, yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be just it's gonna be cool because I did it in a way where it's not just related to the product itself. It's more tied into what the brand is about.
Yeah, it kind of draws that curiosity.
And I got the
lore.
perfect guide to kind of explain that too. So
Oh yeah. I'm excited because a lot of it's like mysterious. So like even like as I tried asking, and he's just like the lore, the lore.
What is 100 Studios?
Yeah.
Studios? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Lore
The
factory.
The lore.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Now, are you already looking at like a few months out from now?
yeah, I have
For-
pretty much 2025 all mapped out.
Nice.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
So I have different rollouts that I have scheduled after this, and then I'm waiting on samples for more intricate pieces that are coming out for like fall winter time,
Hell yeah. Like flannels and stuff.
like jackets and shit like that. Like, but I mean, I'm also trying to be more cost effective with it. Like, I'm not gonna drop like couple bands on just like one jacket and then
Yeah.
have it sit, you know, like
Yeah.
there's so many resources now where you can just make something that looks like it's gonna be high quality, but it's gonna be something where it's the most cost effective way to make it,
Right.
you know. And that's where I guess keeping it super exclusive
Yeah.
helps out, you know.
Yeah.
Managing supply and demand.
Correct. You know, but if it's like a T-shirt or whatever that I can continue to just have on the site year round, like I'll do that. But I'm hoping that it does well.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, I'm definitely waiting for it for
Tomorrow,
tomorrow
12.
for sure. Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate
what's
that.
What's the date?
21st.
Yeah,
21st at
March
12.
March 21st, 12 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, 12 p.m.
Yeah, so it's tomorrow. So this will be out after the fact. So
Yeah. But either way.
act
Are you doing a
accordingly.
band? Doing any new bands? Talking to
That's what I was gonna ask. You mentioned you're not.
I'm not in the world anymore. I decided to depart from that situation shortly after I came home. But I am starting new projects. I have one project that it's just all me.
Just you, yeah.
I mean, me and Chris Curran, he's the engineer. He produced, like, he helped me with it. But it's just more like whenever I have the time type of shit.
Yeah. Passion projects.
Yeah, and then I got this one with. If you can edit this, I don't know if it's cool to say, right? But if it's not, I'll let you know. But it's with Skull and Josh Hines. We have something going on, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, there's other things that are in the like me and this guy. We're supposed to do something, but you know how he is. So
How I am.
The lore. Mischievous.
so yeah, I mean, I'm down to play. Like I'll scab for bands. I'll play. You know.
Yeah, but you're not like just hunkering
play-
down on a band anymore.
I mean, it just hasn't. The opportunity hasn't really like once something starts to go off, then I'm down to.
You just played with Risk, right?
I played. I filled in Providence like a couple weeks ago. That was sick.
Shout out to Risk.
Shout out Risk, the homies. That was a cool show. It was crazy because it reminded me like that whole situation was like. It wasn't the first show I went to. The first show I went to was that Haywire release show. Since I've been out, right? And obviously that's all friends. That's all like. But I wasn't really paying
Plus,
attention.
what a show to just show up.
Yeah, it was a great show. It was like I was high off that show for like the next couple of days, and I haven't felt that way in a while.
Shout out Haywire.
And I wasn't high. I was sober. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So,
Yeah. Soak it
High
all
on
in.
life, brother.
I was high on life,
Yeah.
so it's cool. It's cool to go to shows and just enjoy. You know, but when I was at that Risk show, it was just kind of like reminded me of like being at the mall.
Like nostalgia more.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're at the mall chilling with your friends, like there's like all these the new wave of kids where it's just they were like I felt their energy like this is
New and exciting.
I'm gonna go home and jerk off to this shit. This was crazy because it was like they're all hyped on it, and I never
in for it.
Yeah.
I know you probably hate that shit, but like if there wasn't that
I want no. I want people to have a good, nice time. Just fucking away from me.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't. I obviously stood with just the people I knew. You know, like I'm not gonna talk to anybody, but like,
Right.
it was just cool to see people enjoying it where you haven't really felt that way in a while. Like people are just closed off or whatever, like too cool and shit like that. But
Well, that's how like I came back to it because I hadn't gone to a show in like I think it was like 7 years or something like that. I was just off on my own, like doing house shit, like getting my career in line, just everything. I was just working fucking 90 hours a week, so I was just like,
yeah,
I got time for it. So when I came back to it, it went to...
It was a toy drive.
It was the toy drive
2
years ago. Yeah, that was like my first show back. And it was weird because like the culture was so different and I wasn't used to it. And then like I was now the older person.
yeah.
And I was just like, fuck, there's a lot
I
of
miss
like...
when everybody was a fucking prick. It was way cooler.
It was cooler, but at the same time, like as long as these kids are buying merch, supporting the bands, singing along, like going off, like that's cool.
Yeah,
to
that's
see.
cool. It's cool to not see an empty room get played to anymore.
That's
sucked
the thing that
dicks.
sucked. Like we used to
That's
play.
the thing I noticed first was like the opening band first note. It was off.
Well, bands got fucking mosh departments again. You know what I mean?
True.
They got like 3 or 4 friends that are just there to do that.
Mosh
you know?
departments.
So,
You sign up real quick.
And it's just,
those are the people that can't play instruments. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, they're doing they're doing their part, which is cool, and I like the. I remember playing out of state at storage units. You know what I'm saying? And
way fucking cooler than playing like a normal show. I want to play a fucking. If I got to plug in like to a sound system, I fucking hate it. I don't want to do that.
oh, like DI that shit.
Yeah, like I don't want to play like you want to sound good and shit, but I would rather play in a storage unit in somebody's basement in a fucking bowl at a skate park in some fucking
Rad
storage
skate
shed.
park?
Yeah. And have something crazy happen, then go play like the downstairs Palladium and feel like a real band.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the Palladium. I haven't been to the Palladium
I don't
in
even
years.
hate the Palladium.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's just like the spot. I
You played the
guess.
Palladium?
Yeah. It's cool for what it is, but it's like
The upstairs Palladium, I will argue to the end of time, is one of the best venues in Massachusetts for sure.
upstairs does a lot. Yeah, I just like when playing those random basement shows when somebody's getting tackled through doorways.
Oh, Kool-Aid
in their
Man,
parents'
right
house,
through the wall.
Door frame
right through
right
the
off.
walls,
Yeah.
door frame right off.
Not my fucking house.
Like those are just so cool that just you'll know. Like
Well,
I
I
don't know
think-
if we'll ever see again.
Well, I
but
think there's more opportunity now to do shit like that, like to just kind of start something, you know?
yeah,
Like before, there wasn't that much of a, especially around here. You only had like a few clubs that just did shit. So I think it's just a matter of time where someone steps up and
we were
just.
talking about accessibility to things earlier. Same thing, just like but except Massachusetts, the venue shortage is very real.
People are going fucking guerrilla about it.
That's
though.
what I'm saying. The gorilla shit.
They're just like, I don't know the band off the top of my head, but it's the Punk Rock Fight Club kids. They just took over a McDonald's and played a show in it.
What
Yeah, didn't
the
they do like?
They just walked in with the shit, played, and just had a bunch of their homies, and they shot like a music video.
See,
It's like the "What the fuck is up, Denny's" video.
Exactly, but they just like I said, they just guerrillaed in, and obviously that's not going to happen all the time. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but it does.
the creativity is back.
Yeah, I just haven't. Like, I think that was part of like the big reason for me too is like not doing a lot. It's just like I just missed that type of thing, like watching people get speared through door hinges in somebody's parents' basement. You know what I mean?
It's just
Like
not
it's
as,
just it felt different.
yeah.
Than going to like a giant hall, which like the giant crowds are cool too, but it's just different.
Dude. So that's why Anchors Up was so cool, is because not only were you getting smashed no matter where you were in the room, that included being up the stairs, but it was like so small that you had to want to be there.
Yeah.
You had to want to see the show. You had to want to experience
It was a commitment.
Yeah, dude.
It was
really,
a commitment.
Yeah.
You
Like,
can go to shows, but going to Anchors Up is like, it's a commitment.
yeah. At the very least, you're going to sweat out 35 pounds.
Oh my god!
Off rip.
Don't wear a gray shirt,
Yeah.
dude.
You played Anchors Up, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I was talking to some people I know about. They were bringing up like shows. Somebody was like from Syracuse. Just some dude I haven't really known for that long. He was talking about shows, and he was like, "Oh, what type of stuff you used to go to?" And then like we were talking like back in the day, and I was like, "How do I explain this?" So I literally just sent him YouTube videos of like Anchors Up, and I was like, "Just watch that," and stuff like that. And
The
he was
RA
just like, "What the fuck?"
takeover, RA Army.
Like
those
that
videos.
that like time frame, and I sent him those like YouTube videos and stuff, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And like it was just like the comprehension just doesn't compute.
Well, it's crazy because our algorithm is all just like seeing that all the time, and you think that everybody else sees it, but they
I
don't.
don't.
And
Yeah.
normal people are like, yo,
What are they doing? I'm like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. Like,
you guys want to do this? You guys,
Yeah.
you know,
That
you're willingly doing this?
that
the comment,
story,
the most commented post on those videos is always like white people.
And they say we don't have culture.
doing white people shit.
The
Yeah.
caucasity of this
The
situation.
caucasity. Dude, people still bring up that clip of me talking about like people don't know what it's like to go to a show and get it locked behind you with like stuff like that. And I just think it's funny that people still bring that up.
If you have to ask, you don't need to know.
If you're not invited, don't ask to go.
Ask a punk. Hey, where is it? Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've noticed too. Is like some of these flyers, a lot of it is just ask for address.
Well, it's because you can't, like, that's why
Yeah.
gatekeeping hardcore is a good thing. Because you don't want undesirables, you know? And there's a broad spectrum of what could be what could be called an undesirable, you know? So,
You got
ask a
any-
punk.
Yeah. You got any like favorite bands you like to listen to now,
Yeah,
like that
what's
are
up?
up and coming?
Who's doing it right now? Who's your favorite
like
right
who
now?
tickles your fancy currently?
I mean, I really barely listen I listen to some hardcore. I listen to hardcore, but bro, the shit that I listen to.
I also listen to rap. So
I listen to. I mean, I listen to rap too, but I mean, I listen to a lot of like folk shit. Like I listen to.
I was just listening to Murmur the other day. Actually, speaking of folk shit,
Put me on. I don't even know what that is.
dude, fucking Pete, Hunted Demons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll put you on after. It's awesome.
He's good? Yeah.
Him and Casting Blood Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's doing so many different cool projects now. It's like there's a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm looking for new shit. So you guys should tell me what to listen to. I mean, I listen to, you know, Hermanos Gutierrez.
Yeah.
No.
There's like this Mexican duo that just plays like these. It's just all. It's not really folky, but it's good for anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like traditional Spanish music. It's you wouldn't just the name just sounds like that, but it's good. Even
Yeah.
I love Spanish music too. You know, no hate. So I listen to a lot of folk, a lot of hip hop, a lot of hardcore, a lot of Afro beats.
Just
Just
everywhere.
everything.
Yeah.
I've been going down the black metal rabbit hole as of late. I was having a 2-hour conversation with one of my buddies the other day about it.
How do you have a 2-hour conversation about black metal?
I hope we don't start right now.
The nuances. There's nuances. It's all fucking bad, but there's nuances.
Dude, I recorded it in this trash can.
Well, so Jesse, we were talking about Gorgoroth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he can carry a 2-hour conversation.
Easily about anything.
Yeah. But anyway, so
There's no shortage of new stuff coming out anyway, so, you know.
Right.
that's a problem too, though. I find myself almost overwhelmed. Like, I don't have the drive to listen to music like I used to anymore. I'm a big podcast guy.
Same.
Yeah, you know, and but trying to listen to things that come. Actually, so a new band that I'm really into lately is Desmadre. Huge fan. Shout out Prison Mark.
Is that the band you sent me?
Papa
Yes.
Los.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
with the Alpha and Omega feature. Yeah. Shout out Luis. They're awesome. And if you haven't checked out Desmadre, you're fucking up. Because I was fucking up for not. And got some fucking riffs, dude.
Oh yeah, I've been on that for a while.
Yeah.
I was gonna go.
I was late to the party. I know. Like,
I was gonna go when I was in LA last month. They had their Desmadre World like pop up thing, which was at the Zulu Dude's store. So, but
Lore.
so it was just a conflict. I didn't get to go, but I do fuck with them.
Hell yeah.
I like Speed. I'm not gonna lie, I love Speed.
Speed is real cool.
They should, if they ever need a bass player, let me know.
I mean,
I mean, hey,
Yeah. That's the go-to.
Free trip to Australia.
they're from Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you act
Hell
like you
yeah.
didn't know that.
No, I'm not a speed.
You don't
I'm
like
not a
Speed?
It's not that I don't like. I'm just not.
I just have a hard time. They know this, that I have a very hard time just getting into anything new.
It's hard sometimes.
It's
Like,
really hard. Like,
know it is.
unless somebody's like, listen to this. You'll like it for sure because they
That
know
makes
my
me not
taste.
want to listen to it.
Like, but he knows my taste. So, like, when he sent me that band, he was just like, you'll like this.
Well,
And then
so-
he also prefaced it with Alpha Omega, so that, had to.
Well,
But-
I'm a big Trapped Under Ice guy too, so it helped that.
See, that's a
they
boat. I
sound
missed
like
the. That's a boat. That's a band I
Missed
I
the
didn't
boat
I
on?
didn't miss the boat on. I watched the boat go by and I was like, I'll see you later. I don't know. I like
Groovy
that
hardcore.
See God fucking riff. Don't get me wrong. That's a banger track. They've got iconic fucking tracks.
You say Sexy God?
No, See God.
Oh, I was like, Sexy.
Yeah,
Sexy
I said
God.
Did I see that?
Sexy guy.
Anyway, edit.
Sexy.
Nah, leave
But-
that in.
It's
Did you
the.
fuck with Fire and Ice?
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah. When Naysayer, Backtrack, and Fire and Ice were doing that, like, we're
I
all
refer
hanging
to
out
it as
thing.
just like groove hardcore.
It is. It was an
It's
era
just groove
turnstile.
hardcore where everybody
Yeah.
was doing it.
Like backtracky.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Backtrack and Naysayer, and obviously TUI, got the hype for it. But Fire and Ice, I thought, was like a hidden gem in that little that era, if you will.
In the tour package.
Yeah. The second band on the bill.
It's all in the same tour package. Yeah, I like that stuff. It's just like that group of bands, I guess you say Backtrack, TUI, stuff like that. For me, it just kind of it blended too well together, and it all sounded the same a little bit for me. Like, it's not to say like I don't put those on sometimes, because I'm just like, yeah, I can.
We like fucking riffs, like metal style riffs. You know what I mean?
Beatdown was just so cool.
That's not riffs though.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like,
I like that. Like Beatdown to me is just kind of.
Depends.
Too
There's a couple
saturated.
of different versions.
well,
of
here's
Beatdown.
the difference.
Okay.
I'm like a metal guy. Like, I love metal. What got me into music in general with Pantera,
Yeah.
and I just started. Ever since then, I just wanted to play
You
metal.
see Phil Anselmo's new band? Dog shit.
No, I just
Dog shit.
just Nazi power band.
Oh,
like,
they couldn't be more white looking.
Yeah, they-
But it's just boring, fucking generic. I'll say death metal, but it's not. It's called Scour. I don't even shouldn't even
Yeah.
give him the hype. Whatever hype this.
Phil Anselmo
Eight listener podcast
is in
ever
Phil Anselmo bands where they all kind of sound the same.
He.
That's not true. Down rules.
Oh, I forgot about Down. You love Down.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll keep my Phil and Pantera opinions to myself.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it all stemmed for me with Pantera. So, like, as soon as I heard, like, a Dimebag riff, I was like, fuck. And I watched it. What really got me into it was that infamous video of him playing a high school talent show of him at, like, 16 years old and being, like, the greatest guitar player on the planet. Him just shredding
There's a lot of. I don't know if he's the greatest guitar player.
No, he's definitely not. He's not, but for me,
Trying to approach this gently.
No, he's not. He's not the best, but like he was my influence for everything.
Oh no,
So,
he's got some fucking riffs. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
because
I
like the
riffs.
last band I played in was Brain Fracture, and we were pretty much just metal that played hardcore shows.
You're over for a band.
Yeah, I've been dabbling lately, just because it's starting to.
Nobody leaves forever.
It's starting to rear its ugly head back. You know what I mean?
It does. Comes around.
It's rearing back because I've literally just been writing like indie stuff lately, to do that too, and then I'm like just writing stuff with like beats. So I'm all over the place right now. But then every time I sit down to write something like either like acoustic or like something with a beat behind it, like mainstream, I'll just be like. Throw some chugs in there and a hardcore riff just sneaks its way out, and I'm like, fuck.
Got to dumb yourself down every now and then.
Yeah, sometimes I just need to throw it back.
I'll still do a band. I still want to do a band, but
I'm down.
I'm not gonna bother everybody and be the only guy. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I'm not a musician.
Yeah.
Fuck. I shouldn't. I need a riffer.
Cody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, was it Brain Fracture was the last one? Yeah, it was definitely the last one instead of Head Split, right? Or was
Yeah.
it Head Split?
Nope.
I don't even know my own fucking timeline.
It's been
Holy
a minute.
shit. Yeah,
Your
that's
last
how
one?
long it's been, like, because my timeline's all fucked up. I don't know what is what.
This was the before COVID times.
Oh, yeah, fucking the Matt March band was Head
out.
Split. Was fucking, yeah, shout out Matt. Fucking that band was so cool. I worked so hard on those riffs just for the old singer, just to
Smack
put
it
them on a piece of paper and blow them in the bathroom.
I wasn't gonna say it, and you did.
I don't give a shit.
So just take the riffs back, dude.
Yeah. My problem is like
I do that all the time.
I just don't like I just don't like recycling riffs.
Yeah, but it's not recycling if it's a dead thing. You can also modernize.
I mean, there is a demo out there, so
There's the whole 2% rule, you know.
the demo's out there, so it's like it exists.
Brad, what was it that you always said? The Under Pressure Queen riff and Vanilla Ice. Just gonna change it that
it
little
is
Just gotta
bit.
change it just a little bit to
Change it
avoid
2%. That's
copyright.
it.
been playing the same intro for fucking 14 years.
That's fucking true. Before we go, like, what's the last thing you want to say about like 100 series? Anything else? Or, like, get people
No, I
excited.
just want to say thank you to everybody that supports what I do, what we do, what you guys do. Appreciate everybody, and yeah, it's just humbling, you know.
Oh yeah, glad to have you, and thanks for
Thank you
coming
for
by.
having me, guys.
Appreciate
really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you,
fucking
brother.
sick.
Brother.
Yeah, of course, man.
Cool.